You call into a call center and the rep just doesn't understand you. You feel like you're not being heard. You feel like the years of loyalty are not being repaid to you. Let's go through and talk about how you can save time and money when going through and dealing with a supervisor. So let's just briefly give an overview. Why should you escalate to a supervisor? Possible things you should keep in mind, and let's talk about some possible results for it. The reasons why you should call or escalate to a supervisor: make sure that you've got one of these reasons, otherwise you're just using up extra time and energy on them. Reason 1, you have no faith in the representative you're talking to and want to talk to someone who has a better idea of what's going on. Number 2, check to see if it's possible to override a decision that the rep you're talking to cannot. One of the things you want to do is you want to be direct and clear with them, though, is ask them, hey, can a supervisor go through and override this decision? Because sometimes the representative cannot say that it is an option. Sometimes it requires a supervisor before they can go into the option. But you should always be direct with the person you're talking to. Hey, can a supervisor do this? Because if they cannot, you're basically just wasting your time talking to a supervisor. A good question is generally, who can in the chain go through and waive this particular fee or interest or give me more points? But let's talk about it. More points awarded of a fee or interest is an option, or even possibly get an additional late fee. If you feel like the situation's warranted, you can always ask. If they say no, thank them for their time. Always be professional. Remember that in their business, they have a system in place where they can negotiate. Some businesses do not have any system in place like this. Some of them, it's just on an algorithm where it's either yes or no, and no one can change it in that system. Generally, though, there's someone in that system who can, but you need to figure out if it is a possibility or if it's not. Otherwise, you're just spinning wheels. So, now that we've talked about those things to keep in mind. Managers have more power. They may have the ability to go through and escalate and be able to give more points, but generally also their opinions hold more weight than just regular agents. So if they believe misconduct is being done on the account, or you're being abusive or abrasive, this is something you just want to keep in mind. Be professional with a supervisor. You can be angry but professional. It is a trick that you need to go through and master if you're going to talk to a supervisor. Another thing you will want to keep in mind is everyone along the chain will document your behavior. So you talk to the level 1 representative. The level 1 representative will go through and document and pass it up to the level 2 representative or the supervisor. So keep in mind on that chain, generally there will be a chain where it's followed. If you're seen as someone who's professional with them, managers or supervisors will generally keep better notes, so you do want to keep that in mind. The other thing you also want to keep in mind is that you will want to go through and talk to them about things that just ask the supervisor, double check just to make sure that what the level 1 representative told you is the same that the level 2 rep is telling you. If the stories are concise, most of the time, that is the truth. So just keep that in mind as you're going through and doing it. Keep in mind, there are several possible resolutions to your request. Possibly getting the interest waived on the account. 2, you gain more knowledge about how their systems work. One of the things that is fantastic about it is you can learn if something is possible, so you don't have to use as much time on the next phone call whenever you get another one. You can just stop at the level 1 if it's not possible anywhere within the chain to get your request done. That way you can not use up as much time. Time is money, and that saves you money and time. Keep in mind, there are some times whenever a back office will have to go through and work a case. In these cases, you want to be as clear and direct as you can. Let them know, hey, on this date, this representative told me that I could get my interest waived on the account, and ask them if it is if this is a policy or if that rep needs to be fixed. Reference specific things. You're basically having to talk to someone who's building a case on your behalf, so the more detailed the notes are whenever it's a back office team, the better off your case will go. It sometimes can take 10 days, 30 days, 90 days for a case to be worked, so just keep this in mind. Back office team is something where they do look into these situations, and you want to be as detailed as possible so that way you're not spinning wheels for more time. The other thing that you can have happen is if you are unprofessional with them and are abusive, I would not want to call into a place that would let people get verbally abused on my watch. So most companies will go through and terminate accounts that are either using the system to their benefit and abusing it, or abusive towards their employees. So professionality prevents step 4 possibility 4 from happening, so just keep that in mind. On the end of things, if you ever have an interest or late fee on an account, and you're mailing in payments, keep in mind the USPS offers a priority mail where you can give them a tracking number. So it's something you might want to look at if you keep having payments lost. The other thing you can also do is most lending institutions, maybe not every one of them, will go through and waive the interest and late fees if it is a payment that was postmarked received by them, as in they get it, but they have not processed it yet, because they want to make sure everything is complete and accurate. I do hope you enjoyed this video and everything goes smoothly for you. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to share the video. And I hope you get value out of this. I really do.